Hi. Ideas keep popping into my head, right? And I'm trying to keep track of them. So this is the fastest way. As an idea comes, I'm going to record myself. Because there's a part of me that almost feels like some of my ideas I'm not going to be able to do on my own. There really is a team approach that is needed, a community approach, in order to continue to spread the message, spread the word of just of all the healing that needs to be done, of all the work that needs to be done differently, right? I have to look back at the video that I just recorded where I woke up with this idea, this message that has been there before. I hear these messages from other places and I just kind of hold on to them, and then it just kind of evolves into something else. And so anyways, before I have a squirrel moment and I completely forget, the idea was, I was trying to think, okay, how can I generate, right, this ongoing flow of abundance? And we look at abundance in different ways, right? And I was having a conversation with someone yesterday, just looking at the time because I have a meeting. But I was having a conversation with someone yesterday about this perception of, oh, well, people want to be rich. They want to be famous. And I'm just like, and we were just comparing, like, trying to identify what is it that makes us different from the people who make it, right? So however you want to define success, what is the difference between me and you and them, right? And then, of course, there's so many talks, right? Professional talks of like, oh, here are the 5 steps, blah, 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 blah. But really, it really just boils down to that self-worth and not having a backup plan. Just that's your only plan, and you're going to do whatever it takes. You're going to venture into the unknown, right? I mean, I remember hearing artists and actors talk about their journey, and it's always like, well, I slept on the couch, I did this, I was a waitress for who knows how many years until I was discovered, and blah 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 blah. And so it's like there's this sense of determination, this sense of relentlessness, right? Of like, or being relentless. I don't know, relentlessness is a word, but just being relentless for that which you want to achieve, right? Which, for that which you desire, that which you feel you are worthy of, that you deserve. And so we started talking about that, and we started talking about just, that's really, I mean, anybody could do that. Anybody could do that. And I was talking to this individual about this project, this idea that I have of kind of doing some stuff, some research, and I invited him along, and I love him. He's so funny and he's so creative. But there were things that were holding him back, right? And people are going to have things that are going to hold them back. And again, I think, and it is what it is, right? To each their own. I have these ideas that's just kind of like coming in, and I wish I could tackle all of these ideas, but I realize that I can't. And so I made the decision that I'm going to share them with a few people, and if they choose to join me, they choose to do that. And if they don't, I'm going to post this for someone else to take it on, because I think it's an idea that these are ideas that are worthy of pursuing for those who it resonates with, right? And it's just looking at abundance in a different way, instead of harboring all of these ideas for myself, right? And, oh, one day I'm going to do this. Oh, one day I'm going to do that. And it's like, how are you really going to distribute your energy, right? In a meaningful way for you, where it doesn't overwhelm you and the other parts of your life that you want to evenly distribute your energy to, right? And then all these wonderful ideas get cobwebs, and then the next thing you realize, somebody else already came up with the idea. And it's not that you want to be the first one, right? Because that's what we want to stay away from, this whole, I want to be known, I want to be the first one to do X, Y, and Z. No, it's about sharing the abundance, sharing the wealth, right? And just, being mindful of how we utilize our ideas, our creativity, our just the things that come to us. Give me 1 second because I have to text somebody that I'm running a little late. Yeah, so just the idea, right, of finding another way to look at abundance as a way to heal the world, right? As we're in transition to this age of Aquarius that I'm trying to learn about. I saw it, by the way, last night. So beautiful. So beautiful if you ever got a chance to see it. I took pictures, I put it on my Instagram, but what a treat that was. What a treat to see the brightness and the stars aligning and the planets aligning. I mean, it's just a very surreal moment for me, but anyways, the ideas. Yeah. I'm going to start posting some of these ideas, the ones that I know are going to be time consuming, the ones that I know I might not get to, but hoping that it resonates with someone else and that someone takes it and runs with it, right? And hoping that they pay it forward, that if they come up with an idea that comes from that, or multiple ideas, that they too will share it and hope that it resonates with someone else who has the capability to put that into fruition, right? And that's how we're going to share the abundance. That's how we're going to really help each other grow. I mean, through this medium, right? YouTube, my goodness. Wow. I keep being blown away by just how technology has evolved, right? And always knowing that there has to be a balance with how we use technology, right? Because like anything, if you sway to one side or the other, there's extreme polarities and it ends up being unbalanced, right? It ends up being unbalanced, like that upside down triangle. It's gonna end up being unbalanced, and yeah, we just have to learn how to do things differently, right? And I mean, I'm following MJ. I need to tap more into supporting Allie and Chris from Menopon, because I haven't done that as much as I know I should, aside from clicking the like button, right? And letting the whole, I've heard people say the YouTube algorithm do its thing or whatever, but really, really supporting each other in that way. And I had this other conversation with somebody else who's I hold her in my heart so dearly. I've learned so much from her and her presentations, and we used to work together, and she's doing contract work, and she has this really wonderful idea of how to help women and who are going through betrayal and loss, and I talked to her about just some of the challenges that I've been going through and what I'm discovering, and this sense of this need to help each other out, right? This sense of wanting to create this flow of abundance with the ideas that everybody has to offer, because we can all help each other out. We can help each other heal in that way, if we just communicate, right? We communicate the ideas, we communicate the resources out there. And I mean, we would have like pages of resources and phone numbers to call, and sometimes it's time consuming, right? And so sometimes, I mean, commercials do that now, and honestly, I haven't watched TV in like a long time. I'm my energy is going elsewhere. I'd rather not watch TV. I'd rather not watch the news. But anyway, squirrel. Commercials, message, resources, community, abundance, right? And so I mentioned to her, I'm like, I'm trying to explore YouTube a little bit more, becoming familiar with the different tabs. Like I know the about one, right? Where you type your little, this is about me. But then there's all these other ones like playlists and like, I don't know what the other one was. But then I thought, well, I wonder if one of those has the ability to, right, put other links. I mean, I already put the links in the description box, but if there's a way to capture all of the resources and let people know, like, hey, if you're struggling with this, click on this link, right? And kind of continuing to have this timeless dialogue, if you will, through this new medium that I'm venturing into. I told her, I'm like, I would love to like post your website and you know, your link and just your resource on this ongoing flow of resources, right? That if someone were to tap into, you know, by coincidence or whatnot on this YouTube channel thing, that they will then be able to get the help that they need and get the support that they need, because we're living in a world where how we do life is transforming and it continues to transform and it doesn't seem like it's letting up. So really tapping into that feminine energy of creation, right? Which ends up being the second chakra. Yeah. The creation, right? Tapping into that energy source and allowing yourself to dream, allowing yourself to create, and allowing yourself to share in that process with other people, share the abundance in a different way. Because if we're not careful, what's happening out in society where these big companies and organizations are holding all of this resource to themselves and not sharing it, it's going to end up being the same online with, I mean, I don't want to like label any big, you know, shopping, you know, organizations where it's just like easy to press click and then you get it possibly the same day if it's near your area. I don't want to name names, but you get the drift. Like the potential of experiencing what we tangibly experience out in the world when we go shopping, you know, when we look at large shops, not to diminish the work to create something big, but then you have the mom and pop shops that are really struggling, right? Mom and pop restaurants, family owned businesses that are shutting down faster because they don't have the same amount of resource and support like these larger organizations. And so if we find a way to make sure that through this medium, through internet, through you know, online shopping, online discussions, online this, we share the wealth, right? We share the support of one another. We can make sure that it doesn't repeat itself in this new way of doing life. I don't know. Does that make sense? Yeah, we need to find a way to not fight. Fighting is such an old paradigm. We need to just help each other. You and I, right? It starts with you and I. And then you and whoever else. All right. You guys have a good one. Bye.